Hello guys. Today first we'll discuss about the question of the weekly test 7 from my part. Okay, so first question of the weekly test 7 was, what do you mean by constant force? So what is constant force? Okay, so if the applied force is uniform, if the applied force is uniform during the whole displacement, then that type of force are called constant force. Okay, if in a system, the applied force is, uniform. In a system, if the applied force is uniform during the whole displacement, then it is called constant force. And how we represent the constant force graphically in the fx graph? Okay, so this is the graphical representation of constant force. Okay, it is a straight line parallel to x-axis or displacement axis. Okay, that is, the force does not change with respect to displacement. Okay, so this is how we represent the constant force graphically. And what is constant force? If in a system the applied force is uniform during the whole displacement, then that type of force are called constant force. Now next question was, what is the condition for a force to be conservative? Okay, so what is the condition of a force to be conservative? F is equal to minus dv by dx. Okay, so this is the condition for a force to be conservative. It means when a force is called conservative, if a force can be write as the negative gradient of potential energy or negative gradient of potential, then it is called conservative force. Okay, so negative gradient of potential. Okay, the force can be write in the form of negative gradient of potential, then it is called conservative force. Now this is the condition for a force to be conservative. Okay, this is the condition. Now next question was that, what is 1 calorie? Okay, so what is 1 calorie? Okay, this is a calorie is the actual unit of energy in terms of, in thermodynamics, when we discuss about the heat energy, the term calorie comes. So what is 1 calorie? It is a temperature, it is an energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water to 1 degree Celsius. So what is 1 calorie? It is the energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water, to up to 1 degree Celsius or 1 degree centigrade. So what is 1 calorie? It is the energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water to 1 degree centigrade. So that mass or that amount of energy is called 1 calorie. Now next question was numerical question. Okay, and it was asked that a man of weight, what is the weight of the man? 80 kg. Okay, a man of weight 80 kg, okay, carries a box of weight 20 kg. Okay, carries a stone of weight 20 kg. Okay, this is the weight of the man, and Wm. Okay, and this is W stone. Okay, weight of the stone. Okay, the man carries this 20 kg stone up to the top of the building, which is height. What is the height of the building? 30 meters. Okay, so you are asked to calculate the work done. Okay, so for calculating work done, what we need? Force and displacement. Okay, displacement. So what is the displacement here? 30 meter. Okay, he leaves this stone up to 30 meter height. So we need force. Okay, so here see, the man along with the stone is exerted by the what force? Gravitational force. Okay, the man along with the stone, if you consider both man and the stone as a system, the system will experience gravitational pull. Okay, it will experience gravitational pull. So what will be the gravitational force acting on this system? So total, what will be the total weight of man and the stone? Total weight will be Wt is equal to 80 plus 20 is equal to 100 kg. Okay, and we know acceleration due to gravity g is how much? 9.8 meter per second. So what is the force acting on the system? What is the force acting on the system due to this gravitational or due to this acceleration due to gravity? So what will the force on the system? How much it will be? M into A. So mass is total weight or total mass is 100 kg into 9.8. So it will be 980 Newton. Okay. So what is the total force acting on the system? 980 Newton. Okay. So this is the force acting on the system. Okay. Now we want to calculate the work done in lifting. We have to calculate the work done in lifting this mass of 20 kg up to 30 meter. Okay, so what will be the work done in lifting this whole system up to 30 kg? So force into displacement, so 30 meter. So this Newton into meter. So it will be 29,400 Newton to meter. You can write joule. Okay, so this much energy is required, or this is the work done in lifting. This is the work done in lifting this 20 kg weight, 20 kg stone up to a height of 30 meter. Okay, by a man of weight 80 kg. Now, second question, numerical question. Just given that a body of mass 5 kg. Okay, mass of the body is 5 kg. Okay, it's initially at rest, so initial velocity of the body is 0. Okay, and is subjected to a force of how much? 20 Newton. A body of mass 5 kg which is initially at rest is subjected to a force of how much? 20 Newton. Okay, so you are asked to calculate the kinetic energy of the body after 10 seconds. Okay, you are asked to calculate the kinetic energy of the body after 10 seconds. So see, force is given. Okay, we know the mass and we know the applied force. Okay, so from here we can find the acceleration on the body. So what will be acceleration? F by m. So 20 by 5 will be 4 meter per second square. Okay, now we need the kinetic energy at 10 seconds. Okay, so kinetic energy is how much? How we get kinetic energy? Half of m v square. Okay, we need the velocity. So after calculating acceleration, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the velocity of this mass 5 kg after 10 seconds. Okay, so we calculate the velocity of the object at 10 seconds. Okay, so what will the velocity? V is equal to, from this relation we calculate V is equal to 80. So U is initial velocity is 0, acceleration is 4 and time is 10 seconds. So what is the velocity of the object at 10 seconds? It is 40 meter per second. So this is the velocity at 10 seconds. This is the velocity of the object at 10 seconds. Okay, upon application of this force. Okay, so what is the kinetic energy at 10 seconds? Kinetic energy at 10 seconds will be half of m into v square. Okay, so half into mass is 5 kg and v square is 40 square. Okay, so if we solve this, how we get kinetic energy? What we get? Half into 5 into 1600. So 100 and 400 joule. Okay, so this is the kinetic energy of the body after 10 seconds. So it is 4000 joule. Now next question is that you are asked to derive the work energy theorem in case of variable force. Okay, work energy theorem in case of variable force. In case of variable force, you have to derive the work energy theorem. Okay, so what is the work energy theorem? The work energy theorem suggests that, or it states that, the work done on a body, okay, the mechanical work done on a body is equal to the change in kinetic energy, okay, change in kinetic energy during the displacement. Okay, the mechanical work done on a body is equal to the change in kinetic energy during the displacement. Okay, this is the work energy theorem. Okay, so for constant force, we derive that the change in kinetic energy at final and initial position. Okay, this is the change in kinetic energy at in final and initial position is equal to the work done. Work done or F into delta x. Okay, or F into xf minus xi. Okay, xf is the final position and xi is the initial position of the object. Okay, and kf is the kinetic energy of the body at xf position and ki is the kinetic energy of the body at xi position. Okay, so this is the work energy theorem, mathematical statement. Okay, this will give the work done. Okay, so work done by a constant force. This is the relation for constant force. Okay, so work done by body, the work done by force is equal to the change in kinetic energy of the body during the displacement. Okay, so this is the statement of work energy theorem. Now you have to derive the work energy theorem. Okay, so for variable force. Okay, for variable force. So we know that kinetic energy, how we write this, half of m into v square. So we differentiate it with respect to time. Okay, so half of, if we differentiate this, m into 2 3 dv by dt. Okay, we will get cancelled mv dv by dt, or you can write d, if we take the m inside, m dv dmv by dt into v. See, mv is what? Mv is momentum, and dp by dt is equal to force from Newton's second law. Okay, rate of change of momentum, linear momentum, is equal to the force, applied force. So from here we can write F into v. Okay, or you can write dk by dt. Okay, rate of change of kinetic energy is equal to the F into v means dx by dt. From here we can eliminate the dt term. Okay, so we can directly write dk is equal to F into dx. Okay, so this is the small change in displacement. Okay, so for a displacement from xi to xf position. Okay, from a displacement from xi to xf position, we can write integration of kf pi dk. Okay, so we are asked also, we have to calculate the displacement or work done in this range. Okay, from xi to xf position, and kinetic energy at xi position is ki, and kinetic energy at xf position is kf. So we can integrate this from kinetic energy term from kf to kf position equal to integration of f dx from xi to initial to final position. So this time we can write kf minus ki. Okay, equal to integration of f dot dx initial to final position. This is the limit. So delta k is equal to what is it? Initial final position, limit is, and f into dx. Okay, so this is what? This is the work done. Okay, so this is the work done by the force F for the displacement during the displacement from xi to xi position. Okay, this represents what? This is the work done by this force, by this variable force F during the displacement from xi to xi position. Okay, so this is how we derive the work energy theorem, that change in kinetic energy is equal to the work done. Okay, work done during certain displacement. So these are the questions I've asked in the weekly test 7. Now we'll discuss about the chapter number 6. Okay, what will left? Where will left? We're discussing about. Okay, in the last class, what we have discussed? In the last class, we have discussed about the potential energy. Potential energy. Okay, potential energy in the spring. Okay, I have given example of spring and gravitational force. Okay, gravitational potential. Okay, potential energy nothing but stored energy. Okay, I have given example of potential energy in spring and gravitational potential. Okay, now next thing we discuss about the conservative force. What is the condition for conservative force? F is known as dg by dx. This is the condition for conservative force. Then we discuss about the work energy theorem. Okay, work energy. Sorry, we discuss about the conservation of energy, mechanical energy. Okay, then we discuss about the conservation of mechanical energy, which suggests that for a conservative force, okay, the conservation of mechanical energy suggests that the law of conservation of mechanical energy suggests that for if work done by in case of work done by conservative force, the total energy of the system remains constant. Okay, so what is the statement for conservation of mechanical energy? Okay, in case of work done by a conservative force, okay, the total energy of the system or body remains constant. Okay, remains constant during the whole displacement, or you can say total energy of the body will remain constant. Okay, in case of work done by a conservative force, total energy of a system will remain constant in case of work done by a conservative force. Okay, so this is the statement for law of conservation of mechanical energy. Okay, then we verify the law of conservation energy in case of gravitational force, in case of gravitational field. In case of gravitational field, we have verified the law of conservation energy. Okay, what is it? We consider 3 points. Okay, we lift the body up to certain height, and we consider this highest and the lowest point. And what we derive that the total energy at this point and this point are same. Okay, after that what we did, we take an arbitrary point between these two highest and the lowest point, and we also found that the total energy at any point during each part is also same as, or total energy at any point remain of the body will also remain constant. Okay, so this is how we verify the law of conservation of energy in case of gravitational field. Okay, so these are the things we have discussed in the last class. So next thing I will discuss about the problem. Okay, the one part of the problem I have discussed, or one part of the problem I have solved in the chapter number 5. Okay, when we discuss the circular motion. So what is the problem, or what is the example? That okay, a body of mass m is rotating in a vertical circle. Okay, a body of mass m is rotating in a vertical circle. Okay, so this is the lowest point A, this is the highest point B. Okay, so a body of mass m is rotating a vertical circular path of radius r. Okay, so you are asked to calculate the minimum velocity. Okay, minimum velocity required to complete this circular track. You are asked to calculate the minimum velocity required to complete this circular path. Okay, a body of mass is rotating a vertical circular path. So you are asked to calculate the minimum velocity required to complete this circular path at position A, at position B, and another position at C. Okay, what is the minimum velocity at these three positions? Okay, so what is the minimum velocity at this position? What is the minimum velocity we should provide to this mass such that it can complete this vertical circle? Okay, so we are asked to calculate this thing. Earlier we have calculated what is the minimum velocity at point B. Okay, what is the minimum velocity at point B? Okay, so how we calculate this minimum velocity? Okay, so see, when we discuss about the circular motion, what comes? The centripetal force will come. Centripetal force, which is given by m v square by r. Okay, so at position B, see, at position B, what are the forces acting on the mass? What are the forces acting on the mass at position B? So, what are the forces acting on position B towards the center? So, the first force is weight of the body, mg. The second one is tension. Okay, tensional force due to the string. Okay, so due to the string, so at this position the body will experience two forces towards the center. Those are what? The weight of the body mg and tensional force due to the tension in the string T. So at position B, we can write centripetal force Fc is exerted, or the body will feel centripetal force, or centripetal force is exerted by these two forces. Okay, so body will feel centripetal force due to these two forces, mg plus T. So we can write m v square by r is equal to mg plus T. Okay, see, so we cannot neglect this force mg. It will be always there. Okay, this gravitational pull will be always there in this body. So, but you can neglect, or you can minimize the tension. Okay, we can minimize the tension up to 0. We can minimize the tension in the spring up to 0. Okay, so for minimum case, if T is equal to 0, then velocity at B will be minimum. At position B, T is equal to 0, velocity will be minimum. So putting T is equal to 0 in the equation 1, putting T is equal to 0 in equation 1, what we get? M Vb square. Vb is the minimum velocity at point B, which is required to complete the circular track or circular path. So m Vb square by r will be how much? mc. Okay, so m cancels, so Vb will be how much? Root over rg. Okay, so Vb is how much? Root over rg. Okay, so this is the minimum velocity at point B, which is required to complete this vertical circle. Okay, vertical circular path. So we know velocity of the minimum velocity object at point B. So what is the total energy at this position? What is the total energy of the body? Total energy of the body at this position. So total energy at point B will be how much? total energy will be how much? Kinetic energy plus potential energy. So kinetic energy is how much? Half of mv square. Okay, this is the minimum velocity. I'm going for this case only. Okay, minimum case. So what about total energy for this velocity? Half of mv square plus potential energy mg into h. H will be how much? Radius of the circular thread is r. So at highest position it will be r plus r. So it will be twice r. So if you put the value of Vb, what you get? M Rg plus twice mg r. Or you can write 5 by 2 mg into r. Now, what is the total energy at point B? 5 by 2 mg into r. Okay, so this is the total energy at point B. Okay, so we get EB is equal to 5 by 2 mg into r. This is the total energy at point B. Okay, so see the centripetal force. Okay, centripetal force is what? It is conservative force. When we discuss about centripetal force, we have discussed the centripetal force. Fc is a conservative force. Conservative force. Okay, so from the law of conservation of mechanical energy, what we have? When the work done on a system, okay, when the force, okay, when a force applied on a system is conservative, then what happens? When a work done by a force is conservative, then what happens? The total energy of the system remains constant. Okay, total energy of the system will remain constant if the work done on the system, if the work done by the force is conservative. Okay, so see this conservative force. So what happens? The total energy of this body of mass m will remain constant at any point. Okay, at any point, if you see the total energy of the body of mass m, it will be remain constant. And what we know? We know the energy of the body, total energy of the body at position B, which is 5 by 2 mgr. So this energy, so this total energy, this energy will be same for any position. Okay, if we take any position during its path, okay, so suppose at this position, if you calculate the total energy, kinetic energy plus potential energy, what we get? We will get 5 by 2 mg r. Okay, at any point, the total energy of the body will be this much, 5 by 2 mg r. Okay, from the law of conservation of energy, you can say that. So now at point A, okay, at point A, so suppose the velocity of the body at point A is VA. Okay, velocity at point A is VA. Okay, so at point A, total energy will be how much? EA is equal to half of mva square. VA is the velocity of the body at position A. Okay, so half of mva square plus mg into h. What is the height? See, this is so the height of this body is at a position is 0. Okay, 0. So half of mva square. Okay, see, this is a total energy at position A, and from the law of conservation energy, what it suggests that the total energy of the body will remain constant at any position in the circular path. So at position A, what will be the total energy? It will be 5 by 2 mgr. At position A, it will be also 5 by 2 mgr. Okay, so is equal to how much? Half of mva square. Half will get cancelled, m will get cancelled. So what is the velocity of the object at point A? It is over 5 rg. So this is the velocity of the object at point A. Okay, So what is the velocity? Okay, what is the velocity at point A? 5rg. Okay, now we calculate the velocity at point C. Okay, so at C. Okay, so similarly we proceed. Total energy at point C. What is the total energy at point C? Vc will be kinetic energy plus potential. What is the kinetic energy? Suppose velocity of the body at point C is Vc. Okay, so I assume, suppose we consider that velocity at point C is Vc. So you can write half of m Vc square plus potential energy mg into what is the height? What is the height of this point from the ground? It is r, mg into r. So we can write half of m Vc square plus mg into r. Or what do we have from conservation of law of conservation of energy? Total energy is constant. So energy at point C will also this much. So 5/2 mg r will be how much? Half of m Vc square plus mg r. If we solve this, what we get? Half of m Vc square is equal to how much? If we take this into this side, 3/2 mg r. Mm get cancelled, half will get cancelled. So what is the velocity at point C? Root over 3rg. Okay, so you have calculated the velocity. Vc is how much? Root over 3rg. Okay, so these are the velocities. These are the velocities of the object at these three positions A, B, C. Okay, so these are the minimum velocities. Okay, these are the minimum velocities required. Okay, these are the minimum velocities required at position A, B, and C. Okay, on this body, such that it can complete the vertical circular path. Okay, so this is how we calculate, or this is how we proceed. Okay, or this is the application of law of conservation of mechanical energy. Okay, so by applying this law, we can calculate the velocity, okay, at any point during its circular path. Okay, since the energy will be conserved at any point. So if we know velocity, if we know the energy, total energy at any point, so it will be remain same at every point or at any point during its circular path. So from that, we can easily calculate the velocity of the mass at any position, velocity of the body at any position during this circular path. Okay, so this is one application of conservation of energy. So now discuss about the potential energy. Energy in spring. Okay, discuss about the potential energy in the spring. So what happens? Suppose this is spring. Okay, if we compress the spring, okay, if we compress the spring, what happens? The spring exert force. Okay, if we compress the spring, what happens? The spring will exert a force, okay, to the fingers. Okay, so and so what happens? The spring itself opposes the force, the external applied force. Okay, so the applied external force is opposed by the some force by the spring. Okay, when you compress a spring, okay, it will exert a force, okay, or exert a force to the fingers. So So this external applied force, okay, what we apply to compress the spring, this external applied force is opposes, okay, by the force in the spring, okay. This is called spring force, okay, or force due to force exerted by the spring or spring force Fs, okay. Similarly, when I expand the spring, okay, what happens? Suppose there is a spring, okay, and there is an object, and and I have pull, and what happens? We grab the other end of the spring, and we pull the spring to extend it, okay. So due to the extension of the spring, what happens? The spring, due to the extension, in case of extension also what happens? The spring opposes the external applied force, okay. The spring opposes the external applied force, okay. So it wants to remain in this normal form, okay. The spring always wants to remain in this normal form. When we try to compress or extend it or expand it or extend it by pulling, what happens? It opposes, okay. There's some force arises, okay. Some force arises which opposes the deformation of the spring, deformation or compression or extension of the spring. So this force, okay, this force which is arise in the spring is called spring force, or this is the force exerted by the spring, okay. We represent this spring force as Fs, okay. This Fs force, what it does, it opposes the compression or expansion. This Fs force, spring force, this opposes the compression or expansion of the spring, okay. This is the force exerted by the spring, okay. And this Fs force or F is proportional to the Fs, is proportional to the displacement of the spring, okay. So what does the displacement means here? So suppose this is a spring, okay, this is in a normal form, okay, no extension or no compression. Suppose we extend the spring by pulling the other end. So what happens? This is the expansion, okay. This is called displacement of the spring, okay. Displacement of the spring. So what is the displacement of the spring? This is the x, okay. So it is extended up to distance x, okay. It is the expansion of the spring is x, okay. So similar case in case of compression also. So this Fs is proportional to the displacement of the spring, okay. Now Fs is what? It is the spring force is what? It's a variable force, okay. Spring force Fs is variable force. It is not a constant force, variable force, okay. And it depends on what? Displacement of the spring. Displacement of the spring. Displacement means the amount of extension and amount of compression of the spring, okay. So Fs is what? We can write equal to minus kx, okay, where x is the displacement in the spring. Displacement is x, either amount, how much amount the spring is compressed or it is expanded, okay. This is the x, okay. So we can write the spring force, we can represent the spring force as Fs is equal to minus k into x, okay, where k is what? Spring constant. K is spring constant. and x is the displacement of the spring constant. Okay, and x is the amount of compression, x is the measure of compression or expansion of the spring or displacement of the spring. Now, x may be positive or negative. Okay, in case of extension we take x as positive, and in case of compression we take x as negative. Okay, so this is, so spring constant is what? K is spring constant. Okay, so what is the unit of spring constant? Newton per meter. Okay, so if K is high, that what means the stiffness of the spring is very high. Okay, if K is high, the K is measure of the stiffness. K is the measure of stiffness of the spring. Okay, if K is high, K is a large, there is a large value, the value of K is large, and the stiffness of the spring is high. That is, we require a large amount of force to compress or extend or expand the spring if K is high, and if K is low, then spring is a example of smooth spring. Okay, smooth spring. So less amount of force is required to compress or extend the spring. Okay, in case of lower value of K. So in case of spring force, what we get? Spring force is what? Minus K into x. Okay, so this is what? This is spring force. Okay, now I am considering three systems. Okay, suppose it is a first system A. Okay, there is a spring attached to the wall. Okay, and on the other end, one end of the spring is attached to the wall and other end to a block. Okay, and what happens if in case A? Okay, in case A, the spring is in normal position. Okay, normal form, or is in equilibrium form or normal form. There is no expansion or no compression in the spring. In case B, similar thing. Just what happens in this case? We expand or we extend the spring up to a distance x. Okay, so see, this is the normal form. Okay, this is the normal position. Okay, this is the position where the spring wants to remain. Okay, it is the normal form of the spring. It is in the normal form or normal position, and this is the equilibrium position, or I can say this is the equilibrium position of the spring. Okay, so we expand the spring in the second case up to a distance xm. Okay, so say at this position x equal to 0. So x equal to 0. So in the second case, in case B, what we do? We extend the spring or expand the spring up to distance xm, and there is a third example case. In third case, what we do? We compress the spring. Okay, we compress the spring at a distance xm. Okay. In third case, case C, we compress the spring at distance xm. What is the compression of the spring in case C? Xm is the compression of the spring. Xm amount, the compression amount is xm. So these are the three cases. Now see, here x is what? Here this is expansion. Okay, or extension of the spring. So here x is what? Positive. Okay, to the right side of the x equal to 0. So the deformation or this displacement of the spring is positive. In this case, this is compressed, so the displacement of the spring is here is negative. Okay, in the left side of the x equal to 0. Okay, or left side of the origin. So now first to consider the case B. Okay, here we find the force. So what is in case what is the force of the spring? It is minus kx. We know this. Okay, this is also called Hooke's law. When we discuss about elasticity, we will get this law. This is called Hooke's law. It will be minus kx. Okay, so what is the force by the spring or force exerted by the spring? It is minus kx. So what is the work done by the spring during this expansion? What is the work done by the spring? Work done by the spring. Okay, so what is the work done by the spring during this expansion? Ws, work done. Ws means work done by the spring. Okay, so integration of, in case of variable force, what comes? The integration will come. Okay, we write the work done by, when we discuss about the work done variable force, how we calculate integration of f into dx. Okay, or what is the limit? 0 to xn. So I have to rub this. So what is it in the case B? What is the work done by the spring? It is F means what? F is equal to minus kx. Okay, F is minus kx. This is Fs. F is equal to minus kx into dx 0 to xm. So minus k. So from here we get minus k, or if we solve the integration, x squared by 2 0 to xm. If we put the limit, we get xm squared by 2 minus 0, or we get minus k xm squared by 2. Okay, so this is the work done by the spring. Okay, so this is the work done by the spring due to this expansion, due to action expansion, due to action displacement of the block, due to the action displacement of the block. What is the work done by the spring? Due to this action displacement of the block, the work done by the spring is what? K into xm squared by 2. Okay, this is the work done by the spring. Similarly, so for the expansion, okay, for the expansion, what we have to do? We have to apply external force. Okay, we have to apply external force for this expansion of the spring. And what is the work done by external force? So work done by external force. Okay, work done by external force for extension. Work done by external force for this much extension of the spring is will be how much? I am writing this W E is how much? It is plus K into xm squared by 2. Okay, so to expand the spring up to xm amount, or to displace the block up to this xm amount, we have to apply, okay, this amount of energy. Okay, we have to do this amount of work, okay, for this displacement of the block. So this is the work done by external force due to this expansion of the spring. So these two work done are, the magnitude of these two work done are equal, but the direction are opposite. That's why work done by the spring is negative and work done on the spring is positive. Okay, you have to always remember that work done by the spring, okay, work done by the spring is always negative. Okay, it is negative, and work done on the spring is positive. Okay, so this is the things we have to remember. Now this is the case B. Okay, now I am considering the case C. Okay, So in case C, what we have done, we compress the spring or we displace the block up to distance xm, okay, to the right side, so to the left side of the s equal to 0. Okay, so for this compression, for this amount of compression, what is the work done by the spring? W is similar F into, for this compression, what is the work done by the spring? F into dx. What is the limit? 0 to, this is minus xl, means we have compressed the spring. Okay, so what it is minus xl. So if we solve this, what we get? 0 to minus xm, f is minus k into x into dx, or minus k into x square by 2, and limit is 0 to minus xm. So if you put the limit minus k into xm square by 2, or this will be minus k into xm square by 2. Okay, so see the work done by the spring. So work done by the spring in case of compression up to xm amount, or in case of displacement of the spring up to xm amount, is also same as earlier. Okay, so work done by the spring due to this amount of compression is minus k into xm square by 2. Okay, and similarly in this case also, work done by external force on the spring, work done on the spring due to this compression, it is plus k into xm square by 2. Okay, in this case also, due to compression, work done by the spring was negative, and work done on the spring or on the spring for this compression is positive. Okay, so these are the certain things, some topics, or some these are some concepts you have to know in case of when we discuss about the spring. Okay, so if we see the graph, if we represent graphically, okay, so if we represent graphically this case number C and B, and drawing the case number B again. Okay, so this is the equilibrium position x equal to 0, and the expansion is xm. Okay, if we represent this graphically, okay, if we represent graphically in the fx graph, okay, if we represent graphically fx graph, then what is the fx graph? See, f is what? F equal to minus force on the spring force is what? F equal to minus k into x. So this is C, this is negative slope, so it will be like this, it will pass to the origin. So this is the graph. Okay, so from this graph also we can find the work done. Okay, so this is what graph? This is f is equal to minus k, or this is the graph of f equal to minus kx. Okay, so what is the work done due to this expansion? So for xm position, see this is xm position. So what will be the work done? Work done will be how much in case B? Okay, work done by the spring will be how much? It will be the area under this graph. Okay, so how we find the area? Half into base. Base is how much? This x coordinate xm into height. So what will be this height? So we want the coordinate at this point. We want the coordinate of this point. So we know the graph fx is equal to minus kx. Okay, so what will be this point? So if we put the value of x at this point, so what is the value of x at this point? It is xm. So if you put x equal to xm here. So what is the value of fs? It will be k into xm. Okay, so the coordinate of the point of this point is what? Xm. Sorry, coordinate of this point is how much? Xm and sorry, I'm writing this. Coordinate of this point is xm and minus k into xm. Okay, this is the coordinate of this point. So minus k into xm represent this height. Okay, and how we get this minus k into xm? By putting the value of x at this point. At this point, value of x is xm. So if we put x equal to xm, we will get value of fs. It will be spring force. Value of spring force will have a how much? K into xm. So this is the height of the triangle. So it will be half into k into xm square minus. See, this is minus. So minus. I'm putting this minus. So this is the work done. This minus. So this is a work done by the spring due to this expansion of the spring. Now we want to calculate the work done due to the compression. So see, due to the compression of xm amount, okay, this will be like this actually. Okay, so this is the position of minus xm. This is the minus xm position. Okay, so I am considering case C. Okay, this is the graph of f equal to minus k into x. So at this, so due to this compression, okay, due to this compression, minus xm compression or minus xm displacement, what is the work done by the spring? That is, I consider as case number C. So work done will be how much? Work done by the spring, half into base. Base is how much? Minus x into m into height is how much? Similarly, if we put the value of minus xm at this point, so what is the value of fs? It will be, there is already minus sign, so it will be k into xm. Okay, so what will be the work done by the spring due to this compression? Minus half into k into xm square. Okay, so this is the work done by the spring due to the compression, and this we have calculated from this fx graph. Okay, for this specific graph we have calculated this. So see, so we can calculate the work done by this graphical method or also by doing the integration like we have done earlier. Okay, by using formula you can calculate the work done, or we can also calculate by going through this graphical method. Both will give the same result. So in both cases, the work done by the spring due to this compression or due to this extension is minus half into k xm square. Okay, so these are the certain things. Okay, related to spring. Okay. So up to now what we have get, the work done by the spring is minus k into x squared by 2. K is the spring constant and x is the displacement of the spring, or x may be compression, how much spring is compressed or it is extended. Okay, and the work done on the spring by extended force is what? K into x squared by 2. Okay, these things we have obtained. Okay, so say from here we can calculate. Okay, what is the work done? Okay, work done by the spring. What is the work done? What is the work done due to the displacement of xi to x initial to x final position? What is the work done due to this displacement xi to xi position? Okay, suppose this is the xi, this is xi and xi position. Okay, so what is the work done due to this displacement of the spring? Okay, xi position. So the work done will be how much? Integration of this is a variable force F into Ts. So xi to xf position. Okay, so if we put this is the spring force, okay, work done by the spring. So if we put the value of F, then what it will be? It will be minus k into x. Okay, or we can take the k to the outside. So if we solve this, what we get? It will be x square by 2 xi to xf. Okay, so minus k into xf square by 2 minus xi square by 2. Okay, so minus k into this negative sign. If we took this negative sign, put this answer into inside, so xi square by 2 minus xf square by 2. Okay, so this is what we get now. So due to the displacement of the spring from xi to xf position, due to the displacement of the spring, so what is the work done by the spring? It is k into xi square by 2 minus xf square by 2. This is the work done by the spring due to the displacement from xi to xf position. Okay, so see the displacement of the spring. Okay, the work done by the spring depends upon the what it depends upon. It depends upon the work done by the spring. It depends upon what is the position. Okay, position of the spring. Okay, work done by the spring depends upon what? Depends upon the initial and final position. Okay, of the spring. Okay, and if secondly, if xi is equal to xf, okay, if the initial and final position are same, okay, then what happens? Work done by the spring will be 0. Okay, so this is what we get. So from here you can say that in case of conservative force, okay, what happens? The conservative force depends upon the conservative force. Okay, conservative force F depends upon the initial and final position. Okay, it depends upon the position of the body at initial and final position of the body. Okay, in case of conservative force, the work done depends upon the position. Okay, this is position dependent. Okay, and this position dependent. Okay, in case of conservative force, the work done is what? It is position dependent. And secondly, in case of a cyclic path, okay, in case of a closed surface or closed path, the work done is 0. If initial and final position or initial and final displacement are same, then work done will be 0. So we can say that spring force Fs is conservative force. Okay, conservative force. Okay, spring force Fs is conservative force. Okay, from these two conditions you can say that spring force Fs is a conservative force. Okay, now I had discussed earlier, okay, that work done in case of potential energy, what is the work done? Okay, for a conservative force, in case of potential energy, when we discussed about conservative force earlier, in case of potential energy, what is the work done? Work done is nothing but Vi minus Vf. Okay, potential energy at the initial position minus potential energy at the final position gives the work done. Okay, in case of conservative force, the potential energy at the initial position minus the potential energy at the final position gives the work done. Okay, see here, this is the energy, okay, in the initial position, and this is the energy of the spring at the final position. So you can, from here you can write that the potential energy in case of spring, okay, potential energy of the spring, potential is stored in the spring, is represented, it can be represented as kx squared by 2. Okay, so this is the potential energy stored in a spring. Okay, this is the potential energy stored in a spring due to the displacement or due to the compression or extension of the spring. Okay, so see, if we compress the spring, okay, this is just normal position of the spring. Okay, if we compress the spring, okay, if we compress the spring, this is the normal position. If we compress the spring up to xm position, so what is work done by the spring minus k xm square by 2, and work done due to the external force is what k xm square by 2. Okay, so this work done by the external force is gets stored in the spring. Okay, so these are both are same. Okay, just opposite side. Okay, so this work done on the spring, okay, this amount of work done is stored as potential energy in the spring. Okay, so potential energy in the spring or stored energy in the spring can be represented as V is equal to kx square by 2, but x is the displacement of the spring, okay, from the original position. K is the spring constant, so k is spring constant, and x is the displacement of spring from original position, Okay, so you can verify this actually. Okay, so if we do minus dv by dx, then what we get? Minus ddx of k x square by 2. Okay, so minus k into 2x by 2. 2 will get cancelled, minus k into x. So it will be Fs, force due to spring. So from here what we get? Fs spring force is how much? Minus dv by dx. Okay. So this is the condition for a force to be conservative. So spring force is a conservative force. Up to now what we get? Spring force is a conservative force, and what is the potential energy stored in the spring due to some displacement, due to x amount of displacement, it is physical dx square by 2. So from here we have understand that the potential energy stored in the spring due to x amount of displacement of the spring is half of k into x square. Okay, so this is all about the potential energy in the spring.